Hey everyone, it's James here. It's Master Mewtwo. So those of you who have actually been paying attention to some of the earlier stuff on my channel, or have actually watched some of the earlier stuff on my channel, you'll see a lot of opinionated things. To be quite frank about it, like I talk very deeply about things, and there are a lot of there are a lot of dislikes. A lot of people don't like hearing what I have to say. With that in mind, I might as well start this again. I figure why not have it as a side project aside from all the Pokemon stuff. Because what I'm doing, what I choose to do, is up to me, right? But for this episode, I'm actually, for this podcast, I'll call it, for lack of a better word, because it is pure talking. It's no video, no footage, just a simple banner. Again, thank you to King Turtle for all the work he's done for me so far. Channel banner. He's going to be doing my next layouts, I hope. Keep the partnership going there, because if the guy can do freaking graphics, I might as well get his help, because I'm useless with Photoshop, but I digress. So I'm sitting here, and the topic that comes to mind for today will be stress. And stress is a huge one. I'm actually taking a sick day today from work because of stress. Because I suffer from stress on a daily basis. I don't even sleep that well. I actually just made an appointment about an hour ago or so with my doctor to discuss that. But with stress, yeah, let's talk about stress. Stress in and of itself can be a good thing. It can be positive feedback. It can also be negative feedback. Stress is something that like if you feel stressed because you're not doing as well as you should be, that stress pushes you, motivates you to move further, move harder. And if that stress doesn't let up, that stress might be telling you, okay, this is not what you're supposed to be doing, so you need to move on to something that's more to your taste. And then that would be the negative feedback, and positive feedback right there. Positive feedback, okay, you're doing well. You need to move move quicker, move faster, move better, move smarter. Negative feedback, okay, this isn't where you're supposed to be. You need to start looking around at other options before it messes with your head. And that's where my stress comes in. My stress is insane. Like, sleeping at night is virtually, well, I wouldn't say impossible. I do go to sleep. However, I don't rest. And those of you who work nights, or those of you who stay up late at night and sleep most of the day, you'll know what I'm talking about. When you go to sleep, it's almost as if, as soon as you close your eyes, yeah, they stay shut, but you don't really stay down. You find yourself tossing and turning. You find yourself moving around a lot. You find yourself thinking of things that are impossible. You fantasize about things that may be good, may be bad, could be sexual, could be anything really. And it disturbs your sleep. It disturbs your pattern. It disturbs your routine to go to sleep. In my case, because I am a sufferer of mental illness, I suffer from generalized anxiety disorder. I figured this out, I think it was last year around Christmas, or a little before that. And it gets really bad. The reason I'm taking this sick day is because the stress of, like, I work at a call center. I take calls in, so people call me, but it's just when they call in, a lot of them are already frustrated or not ready to deal with any shit I might have to give them because of company policy. So it's just like, oh yeah, this thing is going to take place in another couple days. And then but I purchased a service that was supposed to be a day before or the week before. Okay, I can, and then those are the ones that are easy. It's just simple process, go in, go out, you're done. But it's when they call in angry, when they call in frustrated, the anticipation of that can make someone physically ill, and it makes me physically ill. When I start thinking, okay, even if I'm thinking of, okay, I'm going to be slightly late for work, like even if I'm running late on my own schedule, because I like to be an hour in before work, or at least leave my home an hour before work. If I'm if it's later than, like, if I end up getting there like 15 minutes, I start to panic. I start to freak out. I start to worry, oh crap, what have I done? I have less time to relax. I have less time to get settled in. I have less time to set my station up. And that is enough to completely throw my rhythm. That's enough to completely push me out of the mindset. And it upsets my stomach. It gives me a pounding migraine. And I know a lot of people can identify with these feelings, that it's just like, oh my God, it's almost like the world is going to end around you. And it could be a paranoid reaction. I don't know that. But it's just the stress of knowing that people are going to be contacting you, and they're going to let some things out, and they're going to and even if it's the most innocent statement, it could be something so innocuous that it slips by the radar, but then all of a sudden you start rethinking it. You start processing it in your mind, and it's just like, oh crap, what did they mean? What were they saying? What are they trying to say to me? What are they saying about me? And that's where the anxiety starts starts playing with you a little bit. But it's just that stress is a killer for a lot of people. A lot of people don't go out to work. This is my first job in 4 years. No word of a lie. I started on St. Paddy's Day of this year, after leaving the army at the end of January 2010. 4 solid years, no job, no income, just school, just residual from student loans, just like that runoff. And now I have the opportunity to pay that debt back, which is a great load off my mind. However, is the stress worth it? And it troubles me to no end. It messes with me physically, it messes with me mentally, and it's so hard to just let it go, to just relax, to just mellow it out. It's to that point where going to work is worse than not having work at all. And that's the worst way to think. And unfortunately, it's where I am. I do see a counselor every month. I sent an email out to someone who identifies with me, who is also a job counselor. So she can talk me through it whenever she gets back to me, of course, because I actually haven't gotten an email back from her yet today, since I sent it like 1:45 this morning. But it's just the pressure of feeling like whatever you can do. Like, I try to serve. I try to help people as often as I can, however I can. I've actually been compared to Mewtwo's personality towards the end of Pokemon the first movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back, which is one of the greatest movies out there, especially for anime. Screw the rest of the Pokemon movies. Oh wait, no, Mewtwo Strikes Back, isn't that the one with Genesect? Whatever. I digress. No wait, that was the one in between Genesect and the first movie. Anyway. it's just this mental process. Like, I try to help people as often as I can. Like, even at the job, it's just like, okay, what can I do for you? Okay, let's see if I can do that. I look through the process that's dictated to me on another page, and it's just like, crap, I'm going to have to tell this person I can't do anything, or crap, this item that they've tried to get isn't available, so to speak. I'm not going to reveal what I do because it might end up getting me screwed over in the long run anyway. But it's just all this pressure, all this weight on your back. I'm not saying that it's not rewarding, because it is rewarding. I get paid, I get out of the house, I feel a sense of liberation because I'm away and I'm doing something with myself for once in my life. But that's where it tends to fall apart, because then all of a sudden it's like, okay, I'm at work. I'm stressed at work. I'm stressed when I get home. I can't separate work from my leisure. So I'm stuck rolling over back and forth, tossing and turning, trying to sleep, all the while dreading the next moment where I have to go to work. All of a sudden, I'm dreading opening my eyes the next morning, even though I know for a fact that it's for the good of my situation. And that stress, I go back to stress again, that stress is enough to make me call in, as it did today, and say, okay, I'm not feeling well, and I do wake up very nauseous because of the fact that it's like, okay, I'm going to work again. I am scared shitless to go to work. Okay, yeah, so I lie about the reason why I'm sick, but the truth of the matter is, I called in today, I said, oh, yeah, I might have undercooked something, and I had my stomach was on purge mode since 2 a.m. I didn't fall asleep until well after 3. And I went to bed early. I went to bed at about midnight, 1 o'clock, because I was talking to someone. She was trying to help me come down from my fear, and I was choked up, and I was basically, it's just like that despair feeling when you start to realize, oh my God, I feel trapped. Oh my God, I feel like there's nothing I can do here. And I wrote a poem about it called Fighters. It's on DeviantArt. I'll put a link in the description, because there's a lot of poetry that I wrote, and it's all really tied into my daily struggles. It's tied into how I feel with my there's the phone. It's how it's this entrapment feeling that I deal with, and it's painful to deal with, and I'm realizing I should have turned off the ringer before I start these episodes. Anyway, I feel this, and it's with Fighters, the one line I use that stands out is every time I get up, I'll pull it up right now and I'll keep talking. It's just this, it's like almost like this agony runs through me. It's just thinking, oh my God, work is going to beat the shit out of me again and again and again and again, and thinking that it's all in my head. That's just it. Because I can prove without a shadow of doubt, people aren't there to beat the shit out of me. People are calling in because they're worried about their lives, worrying about what they're getting, because the fact these things might be just important to them. To the point where if they don't get it, they can't vacation, they can't. It's like Christmas presents, birthday presents, cards, money, blah, 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 blah. The list goes on. Actually, the one thing that stands out, I was trying to defend the policy of my employer to this one woman. She was trying to get a down payment for a house. And it's just like, well, I was apologetic about it. It's just like, well, I'm sorry, but however, this is how it stands. This is how it's supposed to go. And it was that quiet anger. I literally had to log off for 5 minutes or so, and it broke me. I was choked up. I was wiping my eyes constantly because I was openly weeping, and it's just like, oh my God, she ripped me down. She ripped my foundation for the rest of the day. I was sluggish the rest of the day. I was feeling ragged. I was feeling ragged all last week. It's like an endurance run. Um, yeah, this is the stanza I wrote in my poem. As the bell rings, as I stand up to face the one across from me, it is as if it's a new opponent ready to rain down hell more easily. And that's what it's like, because it's just like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go. It's like you go into work, it's just like, okay, new day, new challenge, let's do it. For me, it's not like that. It's like I literally get up off then this is like boxing motif, or even MMA. But it's like you get off the stool, you're beat, you're beat down, you're cut up, your body's feeling heavy, your chest is feeling tight, your heart is pounding, racing. Hearts beat gallop like a driven steed to the line. The quarter mile never felt so long. I'm gonna die. That's the stanza before it, because then it's that kind of stress. It's one thing you need if like something came up like this. You need to talk about it to someone. Don't talk to your employer about it, because it got me dismissed from my job last time. But if that weight is weighing you down, if it's as if you're being like crushed under a weight, you are either setting your expectations way too high, or you're letting the stress of the job get to you to the point where you need to find a way to get it all out. And Pokemon's a great way to get it all out for me, because I enjoy playing. Those of you who've watched have seen, I enjoy playing. I do have fun. You were probably angry with the last video, and you'll be angry with this grinding montage if you pay attention to it, because I ended up having to use another revive. Thankfully, I added the free revives clause, but now it's bye-bye revives. Anyway, I'm talking about something that's totally opposed to this. There is an indescribable pressure that builds from anticipation, paranoia, and expectation. And it's the ape on your back, literally APE. And it weighs on me so heavily that work is... I put it even up on Facebook. The novelty of the job and the excitement of that new job is worn off, to the point where my nerves are fraying like an old rope. It's to that point where I feel unworthy of the job, because I feel I'm wasting people's time. I feel like what I'm doing isn't enough to advance, isn't enough to move forward, isn't enough to earn more, to improve my situation. It's hard. I can only describe it as hard because those of you who know what I'm talking about, those of you who deal with it on a daily basis like I do, you know it. You identify it with it so readily. And like from personal experience, because of the fact I ended up spending okay, so it was 4 years after high school I got back into school again, because of the fact I was paranoid about how I'd be treated. Now it's paranoia of the expectation of being mistreated, and it's not by coworkers or anyone like that. It's just in general, and it's tough. I'll end it there. There's nothing much to talk about. I just need to get this out. This is the first episode of Deep Thoughts, and it's nothing to shake. It's nothing to shake your head at. Believe me, like it's hard to deal with. It's rough. You feel torn up. You feel beaten down, and eventually something's got to change. And it's either you have to quit, you have to get out, or you have to power through. As for me, I don't know what I'm going to do. All I know is I have to keep trying. I have to keep working until finally my mind breaks, or my heart falls apart, or my body just refuses to work. Hopefully the sleep problem can be corrected, can be resolved, and then I can move forward with a career, because I need this money. I need to pay off my loans so that I can move forward with the next phase of my life, so to speak. Anyway, thank you all for listening. I do appreciate your time in listening. Please comment. Please let me know how you feel. Please identify with me. I'm open to identify with any of you. Like, just talk to me. I'm open to talk, and and if there are any questions you want to ask, please ask in the comments, below. You can ask all you want. I'll actually put the poem up in the description of the video, so you all see where I'm coming from, because it's literally written in the weak moments, I'll say. The moments where the depression wells up, where it overflows, where everything crashes down, where you feel like there's no hope. That's when I wrote this poem. I got it out, and I have to make sure I get to work tomorrow, basically. Anyway, thank you all for listening. This was James, Master Mewtwo, and I'm signing off. I hope you enjoy just listening to me talk, because it's all it is, really, just talking. And I keep saying that I'm going to sign off, but things just start popping up in my head. All I know is a lot of these things I'm going to have to say for my counselor, because he's the one who can actually try to medicate, so to speak, as to what I can do about this. Because I've done all the relaxation things, I've tried meditation, but nothing works. But it's only something that I can resolve as long as I'm willing to resolve it.